Hello and welcome, Pasolivo family, to another Cooking Kitchen Cuisine. I'm Eleanor, and today we are getting our boards out because we are going to be making charcuterie boards with Vivant Cheese Queen herself, Danika Gordon. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how she pulls all of this together. I had no idea her background, guys. We are so lucky to be able to pick her brain today. If you guys have cheese questions, let me know because this is the opportune time to ask questions. She majored in dairy science in Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. So she has this love of cheese and dairy and all things that has been lifelong. She has then gone, she's traveled and worked with the dairy industry in Wisconsin, in LA, in Central Valley, like Wisconsin. If you can make it there, dairy-wise, you can make it anywhere. And we got her back. We stole her back when she came to the Central Coast because she is a Central Coast native, and she started Vivant Cheese. I want to say when? 2006. So she's been around for quite a while, and she knows this area. She knows the cheeses. Vivant Cheese has 150 varieties of cheese from all over the planet. So yeah, it is pretty exciting to be able to pick her brain today and really, hi, hello, welcome. Are we getting you all sorted still? Buffering. Does anybody else see the buffering, or is it just me?
Buffering.
Oh, yay! Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
She's getting all sorted though. She's getting sorted, and this is why we start a little bit earlier than 2 o'clock, because 2 o'clock is when it's go time. Supposedly. And
Can you hear me?
Is when we're getting sorted. You guys are all coming on, and we're getting it all figured out. So that is what happens from 1:55 to 2. So,
I don't think they can hear me. Can you see anything?
Okay, so hopefully they will figure out sound. And as they are figuring out sound, she does not know this, but I'm just going to still talk about it until she is. So she is the founder and owner of Vivant Cheese here in Pasolivo. They have provided cheese platters to wineries, to
Can you hear me now?
To everything, and now they provide them to us. So if you were, say, to go wine tasting for the day, an olive oil tasting, she will be there. Hello, can you hear us now?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Oh no. I wonder why. Do we have to do something?
It might be the earbuds, huh? It might be the earbuds.
They're working.
I can't hear you.
Nothing. This is going to be awkward. How does this work? What do we do?
You could always do sign language. I don't
There you go.
Language, but
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Should we get out and get back in?
My sounds off? Some people can hear us both. So that's fun.
They can hear us both?
Is it my sound that's off? Give me a second and I will figure out what's going on my end. How about now?
Oh, shoot. Now we're loud.
Can you hear me now?
Really loud. I can hear you.
Oh, shoot. Hi.
Oh, great. That was so loud.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Everybody can hear me, can hear you. We're good now.
Oh,
Fantastic.
yay. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Have I been jabbering on about you and how amazing you are and nobody heard me? That's a distinct possibility.
I heard you.
Oh, good. You heard how wonderful you are?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. I honestly, and this is why I love doing these shows. This is totally selfish because I know how fantastic Vivant Cheese is. I know that you guys do us a massive favor, us being the Central Coast, providing amazing cheeses and plates and pulling together just cheeses and items from all over. But I
Thank you.
had no idea the background and the education that you were bringing to the table with this. So the fact that you went to Cal Poly, you studied dairy science there, you've traveled. I mean, if you can make it in Wisconsin doing dairy, I mean, you pretty much,
There you go.
that it is.
You made it.
Yeah, you've totally made it. And then you decided to come back to us, which I'm sure the Central Coast is all very excited about, to open up your own business 2006. So you've been going strong this whole time. You've changed locations once. I know that because I had to chase you. I was like, wait, they're not here anymore. Where'd they go?
Right.
And I mean, I send people from our tasting room downtown, I send people over to you all the time because I know it's a trustworthy location that they are going to be wowed. So
we get a lot of people from your referrals. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it makes sense, right? Olive oil,
Yes.
cheese, and that's what you're going to show us today is how to pull everything together and create. So I mean, if you guys have been into our store, you know that we've got these awesome bits and pieces to put stuff on. But then what do you put on it? If you're somebody like me, I'm thinking craft singles and some grapes.
Sounds good.
But don't say that. You know it's not. So the question is, this is beautiful already. Can you make it more beautiful? And I think you can today.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so take it away.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are always so gracious. We appreciate you sending customers our way, and we send customers your way. So it's always all of our downtown businesses try to help each other out that way and just refer people all around. So that's super fun. Today we're going to be making a cheese board. I have my trusty helper behind the counter, so camera. So she's gonna help me actually showcase the products and do this board. She's not gonna help me; she's gonna video it, but I am gonna do this cheese board. So there was a picture on Instagram of the finished product of this. I'm not gonna guarantee that this one is going to be exactly the same. For me, the cheese board making process is very artistic. I like it to be beautiful, and it's kind of like a painting that all comes together at the end, but no two are the same, you know. So that's what we're going to do today, and we're going to use some of Pasolivo's products on the cheese board. It's going to be the Dolce garlic mustard, the Castelvetrano olives, and the lemon olive oil. And so as we go, I will show you how we incorporated those, and hopefully it'll be great. So, and Eleanor, jump in anytime. I love questions, and I don't like listening to myself talk. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to have you pull things together. I'm excited to figure out how you put olive oil on a flat plate without it going everywhere.
All of it. All over the place.
And I'm also interested in like picking your brain about dairy and the biggest, you know, kind of lies that are out there about cheeses and you know, all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, definitely. All right, I'll get started and then chime in whenever you're ready.
Perfect.
So there's definitely components to a cheese board. So you want something soft, you want something hard, you want something goat, you want something sheep. I said hard and pointed at that, but I meant this. And then you can have a blue. You don't have to have a blue. A lot of people are scared of blue, so it's really pretty on a plate. But today we opted to go without the blue, just to make it a little more friendly. So you need all of those components. That's what makes a cheese board interesting. You need some color. You need some texture. And so what I usually start with is the cheese. So these are my 4 cheeses right here that I'm going to use. Let me get this out of the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I usually start with the one with the most interest. So I like this guy. He's got some height, you know, it's a brie. So this one is a cow's milk brie from Stepladder Creamery in Cambria. That's what that one is. and local, beautiful, but it does have some height and some interest. So that's how I like to start the board. And then we will I like to place all the cheeses before I do anything else, because everything else just kind of makes it pretty afterwards. And so you want the cheese to be the focal point. So this guy here, I'd like to just put right here. Now, what I'm going to do with him is, my knife is gross. I want to make this approachable. This piece of cheese is not currently approachable. No one is going to dig into that. So what we're going to do is take the knife and just gently stick it in and turn it. And we call this the rustic cut. So just rustic cut some pieces of this cheese out. You're still going to leave it intact, but it's just going to, then people will approach it. So it's going to be, you know, a little bit, they're going to see that they can eat that, and then they'll dive in farther, because we'll put some cheese knives in here in the end.
Is it necessary to use a machete, or can you use a regular knife that's maybe smaller than the big machete that you just used? Because that thing was massively intimidating. I thought there was something wrong with perspective or something.
That's hilarious. I like using the big knives because, so Sarah, if you look over here, like this wheel of cheese right here, if I went to use a little knife, that wouldn't work, obviously.
No,
but that's why we use big ones.
Got it. And when you put it with the wheel, it makes sense. But when you see it with that one poor slice, it stood no chance.
Yeah.
So what was that second massive cheese that you just put down? That yellowish cheese. Which one was that?
Yes.
Yeah.
This one we call the 5-year Gouda. So it's from Beamster. That's the wheel that Sarah showed over here. It's from Beamster, and it's called XO technically. We call it the 5-year-old Gouda. But yeah, so Beamster XO, cow's milk from Holland. Just a crunchy, you know, everybody likes the calcium crystals. So just a crunchy, delicious aged Gouda. And it gives it some texture. It gives it some color. You know, as our board builds, we like to have all those things. So next I'm going to do Manchego. Everybody loves Manchego. It's always a great staple. And what we like to do with Manchego is so this wheel was a 6-pound wheel, you know, so you take a wedge out of it that looks kind of like that. And then it's fun because then you can just slice it thinly. You can keep the rind on for interest. It gives it a little bit of color. And then once you get it sliced, I probably should have sliced this before, but we need a fast forward button here. I'll just do a little bit. So then once you get it sliced, you can build a little fence with it, and it'll be fun. So you just take one and you just kind of go like this until you get a little, yeah, go ahead.
I've always wondered about whether because there's all these special knives that you're supposed to put out too, or
right.
I mean, everybody gets those as like an office gift at some point or something. And you're like, what do I do with these? And I put them out, and I'm like, am I supposed to have cut these already? Or because it looks so pretty already cut, and also people's hands aren't all up on the business. But also, that makes more sense that you get in there, get dirty, and then stand back, and then you can just grab stuff.
Yeah, it really does. It's up to you. It's your preference. A lot of people like to keep the cheese a little whole because it gives it more height, and you know, it makes it look interesting with the rind on there and everything. But it's definitely harder to eat for the guest, the consumer, whoever's eating it. So yes, I like it. I prefer it all cut up because even you can make pretty little stands out of it and stuff. So yes. Okay, so next we are moving along to another local cheese called goat Gouda. And so this, I'm going to put that right there so you can see it. This cheese is from Central Coast Creamery right here in Paso Robles. It's a goat milk Gouda, so 100% goat. And they age it for 8 months or so. So it has some crystal to it, but not a lot. It develops some nice flavor over time. So what we're going to do with this guy is take the whole rind off, actually, because there's no point with this cheese of having the rind on. With the Manchego, it looks pretty, but with this one, we'll just take it off. And then once again, we're just gonna rustic cut it, because the reason for rustic cut is because when you cut like little cubes, so say I cut it like this, and I just had little cubes like that, it looks it looks a little more like Kraft singles, if you know what I'm saying. So
I certainly do. Yeah.
so you don't want that. You want that. So just stick your knife in, twist it, and it'll come out with some really interesting shapes. You know, it gives it more texture anyway. So, oh, I can smell the goat milk.
Oh,
Yummy.
Is there a method to the madness on, like, can we eat all rinds, or are there some rinds we can eat and some we don't? I mean, I feel like I'm a 5-year-old toddler cutting the crust off sometimes or eating around it, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to eat this or not. What's the rules?
So if it's wax, don't eat it. That's basically my rule. Kind of everything else can be eaten. So see how this brie, the brie rind is the one that people usually have the most questions about. And so you can see the rind in there, right there. So that's what makes it age from the outside in. You'll see the paste in the middle and that little difference in color. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, good. So, but the rind on this is definitely edible. All brie rinds are edible. And a lot of people, especially if you put a brie out at a party like this, they will just dig through the middle, and then you'll have this ugly, like, rind thing kind of hanging and sagging there. But they shouldn't do that. So what you can do, don't do that. We always say it offends the French if you don't eat the rind on the brie.
I will totally take credit, or I'll go right under the bus for that one, because that's totally me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I try not to do it to the main platter, but if you look at my plate,
That's nice
there's.
Of you. Really good of you. So you can.
I'm glad it's not just me, though.
yeah, no, it's not, definitely. So you can head that off with doing something like this. Just cut a little bit of it and make it, because we'll put some tongs and stuff on here in the end. And so you could just start it for them so they get the hint that you need to take the rind with you and eat it. But yes, most rinds are edible on cheese, unless these two both have wax on them. And a lot of times the cheesemaker will wax the cheese, because then he can age it in the wax, and it doesn't lose all of its moisture. Some cheeses are waxed after they're aged too, like this one, so that the moisture can evaporate longer over time. And I'm not watching a clock here, so maybe if you can spur me on if I get too long-winded.
Okay. You have around 20 minutes, so you're good.
I'm still good. This. Okay.
Yeah.
So excellent. So I want to bring one of the Pasolivo products in then. So here are, and so we're going to put it. So wait, let me say first that what we're attempting to do here is not to have a pinwheel when we're done. So it's my pet peeve. I've never heard that from anybody else, but basically you don't want to have, little piles of cheese around in a circle. You want to create some interest, some rivers. I call them rivers. So you want to create some of flow in your board rather than having a circle with something in the middle. So you take something like this and put it a little offset. So these are the Castelvetrano olives from Pasolivo.
Okay, so these guys have a pit in them. Are you going to provide a pit container, or are you going to assume that they're going to do that on their plates, or what are the rules?
I just always assume that people grew up with manners and stuff, and so they will just dispose of them discreetly. I don't know. We also have pitted olives. So if we could, some people actually prefer the pitted, and because it doesn't make a mess like that. I think you'll basically end up with pits on people's plates, but it depends.
That's the hope. Yeah, it's the hope.
I know. I wouldn't put a bowl like right here for the pits, because I think that's gross. I would hope that they would take them with them.
Got it.
Okay, so yes. Do you want to talk about those olives anymore? Are we good?
I mean, you're not really supposed to have favorites, but these are definitely one of my favorites before we carry this line. And just a side note, for all of our olives, they are not ours. All of our olives that we grow on our 45 acres, those go into our oil. So the olives that we have found are ones that we all fell in love with, and Castelvetranos were asked for repeatedly before we brought them in. So we went kind of headhunting for them and realized that's exactly why people love them. They're smooth, they're buttery, they are just a pleasure to eat. I can kill a full jar just watching TV and have no clue I've done it. And be like, who ate my olives? Because they're just so easy to love. So I've done I mean, I put them out, kids will eat them, parents will eat them, they just disappear. So we've got 6 different varieties. This is one of 2 that are not stuffed with anything, one of 2 that it has the pit in them. So yeah, that's my take on the Castelvetranos. I love them. Is there a specific reason why you chose them out of the others? Yeah.
All 4 cheeses on there now. We're doing good, doing good. So what we want to do next is probably let's add a meat. So I have 3 meats here. I usually like to do 3 meats, very different, different kinds of meat. So we have a chorizo, a Spanish chorizo right here, which is this fellow. Super yummy, lots of flavor. And me, when I'm building plates, it has beautiful color. So that's what I love about it. Because cheese, for the most part, I mean, not everyone knows this. I was going to say everyone knows, but cheese is white. I mean, cheese is meant to be white. Its milk is white, so cheese is white. And anything you can add onto your platter with some color and some texture, it's always welcome on the platter. So here, we're just going to take this chorizo and just dump it right here. And I am
So it's okay for things to touch each other? That's a good point. That's a very good point, because when something looks almost too pretty, it's like, okay, not going to touch it.
a little bit more, just like that. Okay. Now, let's put
Someone was
another.
saying that your voice is kind of coming in and out. Is there a possibility of, I don't know, getting closer to you or testing something out?
Oh, they can't hear me? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, your voice is going in and out. People are saying that they've
Oh.
lost your voice, and that's the most important one. So yeah, we definitely need you.
I don't know.
And she's back, they say. Yeah, so when it was pointing downwards, there seemed to be some buffering.
Yeah.
Oh no. I saw some buffering going on. That might be the reason, but now she's gone completely. Anybody else?
Did you lose me? Did you lose me?
Okay. Hey, there we go. Hey.
Oh,
All
no.
right.
Am I good?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I'm still good. I'm still good.
A little bit of. You're good now.
Okay, now? Ready, go?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're turning it around. Okay, so are we still good? She just turned it around. We're good? Okay.
Okay, we're good, it sounds like. Yes.
Okay, we're good. Awesome. So next we're going to use the Pasolivo Dolce garlic mustard. So what I wanted to do is put a piece of interest on here. So prosciutto loves mustard. Like these 3 right here could be really good friends. You know what I mean? Like those 3 together and throw in a cracker or a slice of bread, and that's going to taste amazing together. So we'll just take a little bowl of this mustard and stick it can and then let's see. Let's put on. Oh, I didn't bring any fruit. Can you grab me some fruit? Let's put some salami on now. Can you still hear me? Are we still good? Hello.
Yeah, there's a little garbled, but doing okay, but doing better.
Okay. Let me see. Maybe I can move my AirPods up or down. Okay, is that better or worse?
Same.
Okay. All right. Let's just go for it then. Full speed ahead. Here we go. Okay, so then we'll add a little bit of salami on one side. And I said don't make it perfect, and I just made that perfect. But salami's never perfect, so it can be like that. It'll be happy like that. And then what I really wanted to put in the middle here is the star of the show. You asked in the beginning how I was going to put olive oil on my board and not have it just oil the board. So this is a little friend of mine. His name is Burrata. So this is an amazing, amazing cheese. It's
And as you're playing, there are 3 meats on the board. We heard the first one. The second one we kind of lost. Can you tell us about that second meat again? Is there any way, the suggestion was to take out the ear pods, or is there any way to take out the ear pods possibly to change it up? I don't know if she can hear me now. There's some things that I wasn't able to hear either, or else I would definitely repeat it. I will give you a list of what is on the board, and it'll be on our website. Ragged Point, 5-year Gouda, Manchego, goat Gouda, Castelvetrano olives, honeycomb, dried fruit, Marcona olives, prosciutto, dry salami, Spanish chorizo, tart cherry crisps, Dolce garlic mustard, burrata, and the lemon olive oil. So that is the list of what is going to be on the platter once she is done. I think she's sorting out her sound right now, as I'm seeing a lot of buffering. Yeah, she's completely frozen. Oh, and she left us. Oh no. It's cool, guys. I got this. So yeah, I've read you the list of everything that's on the board. The 3 items that you can find on our website are the Dolce garlic, the Castelvetrano olives, and the lemon olive oil. When she left, she was about, I want to say, I'm really hoping she is putting the lemon olive oil onto the burrata. This is a Meyer lemon olive oil, and it's just blowing my mind that she's putting it with the burrata. It makes so much sense, and I'm super excited to see how it comes together. And they are joining right now. I see a ceiling, maybe? No? Hello? It's just one of those days, guys. It's still the buffer. Oh, there we go. Hello?
Oh, are we back? Hello? Hello?
You're back. Were you able to disconnect the ear pods?
No, should I take them out?
That was a suggestion for the sound. We were thinking maybe that might be it. Who knows, man? Technology, that is not my specialty, but
okay.
worth a shot.
Let's do it. Here we go. Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Let's see if it continues. We'll play through.
Okay, here we go. So while we were gone, I kept working on the board since we only have so long. So I placed a little bit of dried fruit here and there, just a little sweet to go with the salty and fatty. It cuts it a little bit. And then, I was talking about this guy in the middle here. This is burrata. So burrata. Oh, I chose the hatchet to cut it open with, turns out. Oops. This in here is just cream and mozzarella curd. So just absolute deliciousness. And when you pair it with that olive oil, it's just... Are we still there, Eleanor?
You're still there? Are you guys connected to Wi-Fi?
Yes.
It took it off.
Oh, no.
Yes. Aha. That may be it. But we're seeing you. It's still kind of a little here and there. But we're getting the visual, and we learned about burrata, and that sounds amazing. I love burrata. Love it.
Burrata, so good. Good? Yeah. So. Are we good? We're back?
You're good? You're back?
Oh, yay. I'm just messing around while you're gone. Or while I'm gone. I don't know who's leaving. Okay, so we only need a couple more components. We're really almost done here. We need some starch. We have this beautiful bread, local bread from La Migliore in Templeton. So we can put some of that on here and there. So I just like to kind of set it around, put it near the mustard because the mustard needs to go on something, and put it near the we could do some crackers. So we have these.
So what is the preferred item to use for burrata? A spoon, a knife? How do you transport it from A to B?
Yeah, I would use a knife. We would probably just have a cheese knife sitting there. There's all different kinds of cheese knives. So that would probably just have one that it would be shaped similar to this, but not the mustard spoon. Just like a round knife, and then you can just spread it on the bread. And now, since this is always a work in progress, I'm going to move the salami a little bit because I want to put my of boards too. The rectangular ones, I like to leave a little bit more sparse. The round ones, I like to fill up. I think it's prettier if you fill them up. So I'll probably stick some more stuff right here and just fill her up so that it's all just one big pretty mess. Do we have any questions or anything?
I mean, people are following along. We're going to have the list of what you have on that platter available to everybody so that they can recreate. I'm assuming the items that aren't from Pasolivo can be purchased through you guys. Is that accurate? Perfect. So within a mile of each other. So guys, grab your walking shoes, get your bag, and come over to Pasolivo, grab your items, and then head on over to Vivant, and then you can create uh, an amazing board. You can even buy the board at Pasolivo. We are taking care of you. You don't have to do anything really except to pull it all together. We've got the how-to right in front of you right now. That is gorgeous. Where are you putting all of the knives? Are you shoving them in there? Are you putting them to the side?
You know what? Give me just a second and I'll grab some and I'll show you.
Perfect. Mine are really top heavy and they flop everywhere and the cheese goes flying.
I think that worked. Yeah, that worked.
Okay, we're back.
We've been able to see you. So, yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't find. This isn't my favorite knife, but that's okay. But so you want to put a knife at each station that would need a knife. So to me, the stations that need knives on this are the burrata, the mustard, the honeycomb, and these are kind of self-sufficient. You know, the hard cheeses. This little guy needs a pair of tongs so that you can pick him up and you don't have to get it all over your fingers. But yes, I would put it directly in my thinking on that is just so that people understand that this is the dedicated knife for this product, because you don't want them going back and forth and dipping over here and dipping over there. So this is the dedicated knife for this, and you can use it, and then we'll put one in there and one over here and a little pair of tongs, and I think we're good.
What's your take on toothpicks? Is that a very like 1980s vibe, or is that something that people use?
Yeah, some people like them, some people don't. I prefer not to because I think it makes it look really cheap. But I think tongs are more my jam, so that, you know, I have little tiny silver tongs, and you can just lay them around, you know, so people aren't sticking their fingers in there, but they can still grab a piece of cheese. I don't think toothpicks are altogether necessary.
Got it. See, I'm learning so much right now. So we need a variety. We need, the variety being a goat, a sheep,
And a cow.
a meat, a cow. Oh, so bring in the farm. Think farm.
Everybody in the farm.
What animals would you find in the farm?
Yeah. Everybody's got.
So everybody bring it in. So yeah, because the pig is there too, right?
Right, yeah, he's right here. Yep, and here. Absolutely. Yeah, so a soft cheese, a hard cheese, a goat, a cow, a sheep, and then you just add whatever you like. I mean, you know, you could also add like lots of pretty stuff to this. You could add flowers, you know, little edible flowers. You could add sprigs of rosemary. It just depends on the season. You could add some oranges, some fresh fruit on there. Depends on the season, and it depends on your taste and what you like and how you like it to look.
I love the fact that you're saying don't make it perfect, because that is part of the stress sometimes, is trying to pull it together and make sure it all looks perfect. I love that stuff is touching, because for some reason I thought things couldn't touch. Again, I think it's my 5-year-old toddler brain coming out and being like, they can't touch. So I love that everything's kind of friends, and it's kind of showcase. It's a little party, just like what you'd be having when you brought that. So can people follow you on Instagram? Can people follow you on your website? Talk to us about your location, your hours, all of that jazz.
And Instagram and sorry, there's a lot going on in here. Instagram, Facebook. We try to post weekly and tell you what's happening with us. And then we have a cheese club. So if you want to sign up on our cheese club, it's four shipments per year. So we try not to overload you with a bunch of cheese, but it's still interesting. Always different. Always stuff we don't carry in the store. So if you want to have the exclusive items, that I pick them out seasonally. Yeah, the cheese plate. And have some wine. So yeah, just come and see us.
And do you guys have wine there, or do we bring our wine? I love that. I mean, I love the idea of swinging by you guys to pick up a platter before you go wine tasting. Guys, that is something that a lot of people forget, is that you are going to need to eat at some point when you are on. I know I'm a marathon wine drinker too. When I get my head in the game, nobody can sway me. Hey, let's stop for lunch. That's not happening. So, and especially around our area, there's not a lot of places to stop for lunch. Some of the wineries have food, some of them don't. Prepare yourself. Swing by first thing in the morning. It's 10 a.m. You probably shouldn't be drinking wine at 10 a.m. anyway. Go get yourself a platter before you go hit up the wineries, and then hit up the wineries, and you'll be set, and you won't be buying an exorbitant amount of wine because you are swaying. So there.
I love it.
Thank you so much for being with us. Technology, we never know, is a friend, a foe. It's always up in the air. Thank you very much, guys, viewers, for managing us as we kind of ebbed and flowed. Everything's going to be on our website. Check out, follow Vivant Cheese, please, because they've got, look at this. Look at this amazing view right here. Look at those colors. So pulling all of that together, you can have olive oil on your cheese platter. You can have mustard. You can have olives. You can have a range of different meats, of breads and cheeses. This is what we've been looking for. How exactly do you pull it all together? Thank you so much for taking your time, Danika, because I know you are a busy woman, and yeah, you've got a lot of balls in the air. There's a lot of stuff going on. So thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me. This was a wonderful event, and it's not something that I'm usually doing, so it was a lot of fun, and I appreciate
it. Everybody, this is going to be on our Instagram. This is going to be on our Facebook. This is going to be on our YouTube. So subscribe to our YouTube. All of this stuff, every time a new thing comes on, boom, you'll be told, and you can rewatch this anytime. Everybody's saying thank you. I echo that. Thank you so much. And I want to go over what we're going to be talking about next week. And also, if you guys create platters, please take pictures of them. Let us know that. Can you recreate that at home? The challenge. Everybody's loving challenges during this COVID time. So that's your challenge, is to try to recreate that, or show us what you've done. Are you vegetarian, so you'll do the cheese, but you're not going to do the meat? What else have you put on there to create some color? There are a lot of sauces, a lot of dips, and like she said, edible flowers that you could do. So there are so many options. Show us what you have decided to pull together, and especially if you're using one of our boards, because then you've just got the whole setup right there. Looks amazing. Trust me, everything looks amazing on the olive wood. It's just facts. Okay, so next week we will be covering our nut crumbs. So we have not done a pantry in a little bit, so we're covering our nut crumbs. These guys, if you've been to our tasting room, you totally recognize this, I'm sure. Once you use these, you will not go back. I have not gone back to panko, I have not gone back to breadcrumbs. They are, there's an original, there is a spicy, there is a coconut curry, and then there is an Italian. Coconut nut crumbs and Italian. So all of these are fantastic for creating yummy, yummy foods. And I will be going over that next week. I'm not going to tell you what kind of foods because you have to log in and follow us. And tomorrow or next week, when is it? It is the 26th. The 26th already, guys. We're done with February. Get out of here, February. Moving on. Let's get some spring. I see daffodils popping up. Woohoo! Give us a holler at the tasting rooms if you ever have any questions about what you have been following and looking at. Really appreciate you guys following every week and views. We've got hundreds of views and I appreciate it because that means that you guys are following along and doing this stuff at home, which is exciting. Have a fantastic weekend. Happy Friday, everybody, and we will see you next week.